Hey everyone, this is Taylor Klaus with myultimatewellness.com, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about protein, dairy protein versus plant-based protein. And if you watch my videos before, you know I'm a huge fan of the Isagenix isolene shakes. So here I have two different shakes here. I've got the standard dairy made up of that grass-fed, undenatured whey protein. And I also have here the dairy-free protein, which has no dairy and no soy protein. This actually is made up of pea and rice in order to mimic the amino acid profile of whey protein. So today I find there's a lot of confusion over plant-based proteins versus dairy or meat proteins. So here's the bottom line. Dairy proteins and meat proteins are much more efficient and beneficial. So for those who can tolerate them, they're a better protein. Here's why. Protein is not just protein. There's a lot of differences and variables. For example, we can look at the absorbability of a protein. We could talk about biological value or how much is absorbed. So you can look this up online. But just to give you a basic idea, vegetable proteins are absorbed at around 50%. Meat proteins are absorbed better, maybe 80%. And then whey protein is actually the most absorbable protein at about 96-98%. Whole egg protein is just slightly behind that, but a very good protein. So a couple of reasons that might be. First of all, we look at the amino acid profile. We find that whey protein is a complete protein, meaning it has all the essential amino acids your body needs to function. But more than that, it actually has the highest concentration of branched chain amino acids. These are three specific amino acids that have unique roles in muscle growth and muscle metabolism. We can look at one of those, which is leucine, and research has shown that leucine by itself will stimulate or cause muscles to grow more than any other single amino acid. So where do we find high concentrations of leucine and branched chain amino acids? Whey protein. So it absorbs better, it has a much better amino acid profile. So what we see is people will gain muscle mass better. Typically weight loss results are a little bit better. And especially for those who are getting up in years, maybe 40, 50, 60 years old, we find that their digestive system is not working as well. And if it's not working as well, it's not able to absorb the protein as well. So that means we need to use a much better protein. So whey protein, specifically that undenatured grass-fed whey, is the best protein for older individuals because they can absorb it at a higher rate, and it has all those special amino acids for retaining muscle. With that said, there's a big push for plant-based diets and plant-based proteins. And of course here Isagenix has realized that and come out with a plant-based protein. And I have to say this is probably one of the best, if not the best, meal replacement shakes in the dairy-free genre. With that said, if you can tolerate dairy, you're probably better with the whey protein. If you can't, and there are a number of individuals that have dairy allergies that just can't tolerate it, or maybe they just don't want to, this would be the next best option. Yes, it's going to absorb a little bit less, but it is a blend of pea and rice protein. So the amino acid profile is very high in branched chain amino acids. It's higher in leucine than other plant-based protein sources. And of course, it's great because it's soy protein free. I'm a huge fan of staying away from isolated or concentrated soy protein for a number of reasons. But just very simply, there are better proteins for vegetarians and vegans out there. Namely the blends with pea protein, rice, hemp. There are other better protein sources. We don't have to debate about phytoestrogens and GMOs. It's just a moot point. What we want is a good amino acid profile with all that other stuff. So, a great option. For those who are lactose intolerant, keep in mind that's not an allergy. That just means you don't have lactase to digest lactose in the milk or dairy. So, one great thing about the Isagenix shake, 7 live enzymes, including lactase. So for those individuals that simply have a lactose intolerance, the Isagenix shake should be just fine for them. That's completely different than a dairy allergy. And if you have a dairy allergy, then you don't want to take the dairy shake. The plant-based shake would be for you. So if you're looking for maximal weight loss, maximal muscle mass, maximal health benefits, and you can tolerate dairy, whey is the best protein for you. If you can't, a blend of plant-based proteins is your next best option.